Alright folks, welcome back to Let's Play Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. I'm Mysterious GG. Back to my regular haunts as I record, which should mean slightly better sound quality of the background sound because I have my regular speakers, although I can't crank the music up really loud anyway, so you probably can't hear it all that well. Excuse me, we're exactly where we were before, except that I loaded and went through that little bit of dialogue again, having stripped Tia and Salon of their equipment. They had to strip naked and humiliate themselves in the presence of Maxim. And as a result, now Decker and Guy both have jewels. It's an Eagle Rock for Guy. I've really built Guy for speed, including the jet helm, which is kind of a dated piece of equipment, but it raises his agility. He's got the camo armor, raises his agility, speedy ring, and Eagle Rock. And as a result, his agility, like, Maxim's agility is 80. That's with nothing really meant to raise his agility. Guy's at 76, so he's almost as fast as Maxim. And you can see that, like, an agility of 24, you know, Decker's way behind. Obviously, Decker's about 16 levels behind both of these guys, but still, that's pretty low agility. We got attack power 272, 373. 291. Even at level 20, Deckard has better attack power than Maxim. And he's got a slightly better weapon. The lethal sword is an enemy drop from one of those dungeons. It's cursed, but if you uncurse it, it's a pretty good weapon. And the really interesting thing, of course, is that Gades' blade is now equipped on Guy. And the Gades' blade is a sword possessed. This is the first time we've really gotten a chance to use this. A sword possessed of the fearsome power of the evil Gades. This is, of course, what we got for defeating Gades. And its IP power Octo Strike, attack enemy 8 times in a row. By far its best feature. Because there's a lot of swords in the game that do more damage than the Gades sword. Like, you know, by a lot I mean, like, we'll probably only be about 3/4 of the way through the game when we find better swords. But the Gades sword itself, its IP power rather, I meant to say, is actually one of the most effective in the game against bosses and stuff. So basically, in just one turn, like if you're fighting a boss, you just get to attack it 8 times in one turn. Obviously, that's one of those IP skills that uses up 100% of your IP. Anyways, now we are on a quest to go find and stop Gades. We're not going to get another Gades sword, unfortunately. But that's our quest, and we really have no idea where to go. But just on a hunch, let's head this way, because we entered an island from the west. Now we're going to head east. And my thinking being, there's probably a way off the island, over in that direction, as we sort of continue along. Just move in the opposite, like, just move across an island in the opposite direction of the one in which you were heading. Is this the first time we've had Deckar in our party? I'm trying to remember. It might be. I think it is. Fatal punch isn't really that fatal, baby. Should have used Spear Revive on yourself, buddy. Oh, well. You can see the Gades sword is not a magnificent game-changing thing, but... Alright, so that obviously didn't do us any good. Fighter Orcs. Alright, well, they're not really much of a threat. Well, this... Ooh, a bridge. Yeah, there we go. What do you want to bet? This tower has something to do with Gades. Gades does just like to find towers and hang out in them. Just don't kill the capsule monster. It needs experience badly. Let's see what our excuse the game gives us for not being able to continue. The poor town of Lion is through here. Gades entered the tower. He hasn't come here yet, so let us go. Alright. We gotta deal with Gades. He's our next quest. A man radiating a terrifying force landed in this tower. Was that Gades? I'm gonna get into this tower now. Bye! And he doesn't even leave. He's just gonna hang out in this tower for a while. Pushing this pillar against a wall will move that wall for some reason. Alright, so we're in Gades Tower. And it's pretty awesome. Cross swords with the Red Guardian 3 times. Remember that, kids. Magical powers. Pretty awesome. And no, there's no other secret places to find using those that pillar. Don't worry about it. Pumpkinheads. You might recognize them from Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. You also might recognize them from Ogre Battle, a game which is... yeah, I might LP that eventually. I was convinced I was going to LP it at one point, started playing a game, saving some states, but it is a really long game. So yeah, hop up and comment if you think Ogre Battle will be a great LP. Ogre Battle for the SNES, of course. Because that's the version I remember, and I always like to play games that are kind of nostalgic. Although I guess there was a PS1 version of it too, or something like that. Oh, well, that's great. We've made no progress whatsoever now. We really need to switch our party up. Dekar should be in the front row. Dekar should be in the front row. Kind of a boring fight. These are kind of boring enemies. I mean, they look kind of scary and cool, but they really don't have any kind of special techniques. They're just sort of there. There we go. Our lowest level party member is now in the lead. I'm gonna lead the way against these bruises, Daddy. Another group of enemies that just kind of attacks. That's all they do. They've got hit points. You've got to eliminate their hit points before they eliminate yours. They attack. No special techniques. Just attack. Now healing is going to be a bit of a problem in this tower because of course Maxim is the only magic user we've got. So, oh. Well, it wasn't just me wasting time fighting those guys. It would appear that I did have to actually defeat them to get to the next room, so... Was it strike swords of the Guardian 3 times? Ooh, what's going on here? Okay. Got a bit of a puzzle. Well, that's no problem. Whoa. I'm gonna run away here, folks, because I believe we need this enemy as part of solving the puzzle. Although I could just push this in there. I mean, that's now the switches. Nope. For some reason that doesn't work. Alright, well, I've screwed it up here. I do remember this one. We've got to trap the enemy. Now, you notice those guys normally teleport around, but they're not doing that here. And that's one of my clues, that you have to trap him in there, and that he holds the door open for you, because it wasn't moving the normal way. It was moving in a way where you can manipulate him pretty easily. Now, okay. This pillar's got to have something to do with it. Whoa, is this a magical pillar that will move the wall? No, it's not. Ah, crap. Alright, reset. A lot of puzzly type of stuff in this game. There we go. And more generic enemies. I don't really feel like fighting you. Deckar will never get quite as leveled up as Guy and Maxim if I can help it, because as you may remember from the prologue of Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, Deckar is not one of your Final Four party members. So as far as like making the end game easier, there's no point in like really lavishing him with lots of experience. This is about as important as he's ever going to be in the game, probably, as during the sequence where we're getting ready to fight Gades. At this point, we actually do have to defeat Gades. Last time, we had like this super epic, exciting boss battle against Gades. I hope you all enjoyed, where the idea was you don't have to actually beat him, but if you do, you get a special weapon in the form of the Gades sword. Oh man. I'm trying to watch Grimmeth's, whatever that, like, Mega Man, whoa, shit. His Mega Man, like, first-person shooter game that he's been playing. It seems like a lot of fun. I've enjoyed the videos, but they're a bitch to download over here. I don't know if he, like, has absolutely no, processing of the videos to shrink down the file size, but those things, I cannot get them to download. It's tough to get anything to download, but those are like particularly bad. Again, for their length, they seem to be inordinately difficult to watch. But anyway, Bomb Man. Hey, check it out. It's a door. This was not the most difficult puzzle in the game. It's a false door. This is a real door. It's a Sul door. And here's an interesting set of enemies. King Frog, Snell, King Frog, and Snell. I don't remember the Snells doing anything interesting, so let's kill them. The King Frogs have at least one attack, which is kind of fun. Or at least it looks kind of cool. Yeah, see, wasn't that cool? No, it's got something else that they do. Maybe these guys don't do it. Maybe it's a palette swap that I remember doing it. But they've got some kind of singing attack, which is like status ailment inflicting on you. I think it confuses you, but it's just kind of fun. But only if they survive to do it. Which it doesn't look like he will. Oh, no, he survived long enough to do something, but he didn't do the cool attack. So he deserves death. I'm sick of fighting you guys. You gotta remember, folks, I did a lot of fighting of these enemies in preparation for the boss battle against Gades. Not these enemies in particular, but similar enemies. Actually, mostly I was hanging around outside the dungeons where you just encounter them like you would in a normal RPG. You just walk around and occasionally get an encounter. You know, the Lufia 1 way. Lufia 2 has got a whole new... The way the game plays in dungeons is totally new and different from anything I'd played in the game before, but I guess Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which Altairi is... He's LPing that now, as I LP this game, which he LP'd, and he doesn't seem to even notice that I'm LPing it, but he's also LPing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest now. And yeah, in that one you actually see enemies on the map in the dungeons before you encounter them, but you don't really try to avoid them or anything. They're just stationary. It's just overall, it's a very easy kind of game that lets you see where enemies are so that you can, if you're not ready to fight them, you don't have to. Okay, so the direction you walk into it from on this particular one controls where you end up. I got that. So let's do this first. You guys are just not getting out of there, are you? Hey, I got a pumpkin jewel out of this. That's cool. The bull things seem to be, like, intent on fighting you. They are, in fact, meant to be charging like bulls. So, there you go. I can't shake the feeling this has been a really boring video. Apologies for that, folks. I guess I'm just not going, ooh, enough, but... And just kind of exploring the dungeon. The sense that we're in great danger and Gades is like ready to destroy the town at any moment, just not coming across to me. I'm gonna go ahead and get the last treasure here, which will involve defeating these guys. We're cruising for a bruising. Sorry, I was thinking about Altari. Yay! Just taking a break for a sip of overwatered, sugar-free grape Kool-Aid there. Now I'm ready to continue attacking bruises. It's time to attack bruises and to sing off key. Yay! Yay, some more. And a protect ring. So there's a bunch of enemies you got to deal with, but it's pretty good gear in here it seems like. What about the pumpkin jewel? Causes acute. That's the catfish jewel. Lets you do pumpkin attacks. Headbutt enemy at twice normal attack power, effective against strong enemies. Yeah, it's raising intelligence, but it would be better for somebody like Tia. There's another. I got another muscle ring, so that's good. I can take down his defense and strength and raise his attack. That's probably a good idea, actually. Or the protect ring, which raises defense. Who's got low defense? He's got relatively low defense, but I wanted to keep the speed ring. Alright, let's call it a video. Alright, folks, when we come back, well, let's get out of this little pit of despair here. No, there we go. Fuck you! I wanted to get out of the pit of despair, assholes. Oh. And I don't think they'll cross that thing, but just for the hell of it, let's trap them in there. Now, folks, when we come back, it'll be time for more exploring of the Tower of Gades. Gades has decided he wants to hang around in a different tower from the one he hung around in last time. Now, remember, we defeated him and we got a special item. It didn't really impact the plot, but the way that your first playthrough of the game is supposed to go is you fight Gades, he totally overpowers your party because he's so badass and awesome. And then he just leaves the tower he's in and goes to a different tower. So he's kind of tower hopping, but we're Gades stomping. I'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for watching.